Today on Conversations That Convert, we're going to talk about how to take market share from your competitors. Let's get started.
Welcome to Conversations That Convert. Every week, we'll spend about 10 to 15 minutes tackling relevant lead generation, marketing, and sales topics for remodelers, home improvement companies, and home builders. Conversations That Convert is brought to you by Builder Lead Converter, your perfect sales assistant. And now, here's Rick and Daiana.
Hi, Daiana. Nice to see you again. It's been a couple of weeks.
Yes, nice to see you too. I hope everything is going very well.
Well, it absolutely is. And I just want to commend you again on the beautiful job you've done of decorating your home
Oh, thank
behind you. It's just, it continues to impress and amaze every time I see it.
you. Hard work.
Hard
Indeed.
work pays off. That's right. Yeah, that's right. Well, what are we talking about today, Daiana?
So today we will learn how to take market share from your competitors.
Yeah, that's right. This is always a popular topic, and it's a challenge, but we're going to give you some easy to implement strategies today and this is all part of our How to Beat Your Competition series. This will be the last of our last episode in this particular series, so I hope you have enjoyed it. So let's, as we always do, let's just dive right in. So the first thing I need to do is I need to give a disclosure. It's always good to be, disclose to let you know that if you're thinking, hey, I want to take these strategies and I want to have them work in the next week. Full disclosure, these are long-term strategies. So this is something you're going to implement over time, take months, if not years, to do this. But if you do implement these strategies, you definitely will become the builder of choice in your particular location. So should we start with some common mistakes, Daiana?
Yes, I like common mistakes. We all do
Right.
them.
These are the things we shouldn't do, or at least stop doing if we're already doing them. So there's really two common mistakes when it comes to taking market share. And the first one is trying to buy business. Buy business. So what I mean by buying business is paid leads. Uh, Normally it's like, well, hey, we want to grow our business or we want more business. What should we do? Well, let's start advertising. And so we're going to run ads on Google or Facebook, paid social, AdWords, start advertising on house, start paying lead services, to drive leads. And that is it's a common mistake. But it's a huge mistake, is that there's not a long-term strategy of where you can grow your business just on paid leads. There is a time and place for paying for leads, but this is not it. What all you have to know is that paid leads, or leads that you buy from third-party services, or so it's either you're advertising for them or you're paying a third party to deliver you leads. Those are the poorest converting types of leads. So what you will do is you will spend a lot of time, a lot of money, and a lot of energy chasing these leads, and you're going to have very poor converting results. And that is why, if you've done any advertising in the past, you've gotten to the point where you're saying, well, this is just not working. I'm not getting business out of it. And that is true. There's a very specific way to use this. It's not where you want to start. Any thoughts on that, Daiana?
I agree, and I can confirm that it's tested and it's it's working, or actually it's not working. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a way to use it, and we probably won't get into it a whole lot today, but there is a way to use it. It's just I guess just remember, don't start there. So the second big mistake that I see is discounts or incentives. It's just not a long-term strategy. And I know there are, especially specialty remodelers out there, that they always have some sort of a discount or a service, discounted price or service going on. And of course, all they do is they simply up their prices in order to cut them back, so it's not really a true discount. So they do this to create the perception of urgency, and you need to call now or take advantage of this now before it goes away. It's a short-term strategy, but it's not a long-term strategy to use that type of thing. And if you get into design build, it's a nightmare. It just doesn't work, especially the higher price point projects. If you're a specialty remodeler where you're doing, lower end stuff, stuff in the hundreds versus thousands of dollars, yeah, there is a place for short-term discounts, but it's not a long-term strategy. So that's another common mistake that I see. Diana, any thoughts with that one?
I agree with that one too. So I try them all.
Yep. And if you discount stuff, typically you just attract people that are a lower quality lead anyway, and they just want more discounts. So you never really lead with a discount. A discount is typically used as a closing tool.
Yeah.
So you want to get someone to move forward, so you can pull this one out of your sleeve and say, hey, it's called the sharp angle close. If we can do this, are you ready to move forward? And that's how you use a discount or an incentive. But again, it's not something you want to advertise because you typically attract the wrong type of lead. So let's look at the three strategies next here. Um, Three specific strategies to growing market share. Full disclosure, these are long-term strategies. So strategy number one is that you want to specialize, not generalize. So there are really three areas that you want to become a specialist in. Number one is location. If your service area is too large, it's too much time behind the windshield. You're running into maybe competitors that you are not prepared for. It's just it's you cannot make money if you have too large of a service area. So if you're driving 30 plus miles, and this using that as a random example, every market is different. It's just too far. You need to really specialize for a location. So carve out that service area that you really want to focus on. And part of that is because your marketing dollars only go so far, your reach only goes so far. So you really want to niche down when it comes to location. The second is the project type. So in other words, if you're a remodeler, okay, what are your 4 or 5 best projects? If you're a home builder, are you a single family home builder? Are you a condo builder? Are you a townhome builder? Are you doing customs? Are you doing semi-customs? Are you doing production type housing? Figure out what you're really good at and focus on that. Don't try to be all things to all people. And then last is price points. And what I mean by this is that, don't say, well, we build homes from 250 to 2.5 million. That doesn't work. Either your price point is 250 to 350, or 250 to 500, right in there, or your price point might be 1 million to 2.5 million or 3 million, whatever it is. But you need to focus on price points to really make it work. Anything you want to add to that, Diana?
So specialize. You can start by noticing what you're doing good, and you can also try to put a list and write down the ideal client that you what they want and where they live, and adjust and specialize in that direction.
Absolutely. Yeah, you mentioned that before in a previous episode, so thank you for bringing that up. Uh, Specialization usually comes down to what are you good at and what do you make money at?
Right.
And those are the projects you focus on. But then Diana's exactly right. Is like then you look at, okay, who's my ideal
Yeah.
client, and then you can use that to target your marketing. So that could be by a specific neighborhood. You can do obviously target people based on if their income levels are moving up to be able to afford your services, or if you provide more of an express type service where it's very very quick. There's a certain type of demographic and psychographic profile that you want to focus on. So
Yeah.
thank you for bringing that up.
And combine the ideal with what's real and what's working, and be realistic.
Exactly. And
Yeah.
most importantly, when you identify that client that you want to work with, then you know when to say no.
Yeah.
That's so important, is knowing when to say no, because saying no has two costs. One is an opportunity cost. When you take on a job from a client you shouldn't, it precludes you from taking on a job from a client you should. The second one is the emotional cost. And sometimes there's a monetary cost too, right? Where these clients just they ask for so much of your attention, they negotiate with you at every step of the way, and they just become these nightmare clients. But they take an emotional toll on you and your staff. And unfortunately, we have to provide warranties for these people, oftentimes a year after the job is completed, and they are a nightmare in warranty as well. So knowing when to say no is so important, and you know that once you identify who your ideal client is.
Right.
Strategy number two, we're going to focus on organic leads. So we talk about what the mistake is that the mistake you make is where you say, well, I want to grow my business. I want more business. I'm going to start running ads. Okay. This is where you start. You focus on organic leads. So what is the definition of organic lead? Well, I'm glad you asked, Diana. Let me give it to you. Number one, it's a referral from a client or perhaps a business associate. An organic lead is also somebody you've already done a job for once before, so it's a second time around. A website lead, someone that comes to your website organically, or your social media platforms where they're following you on social, and you put an offer out there and they jump in. That would be the definition of an organic lead. A sign call could be an organic lead. It's a lower quality, but if they find you online through one of your platforms that is not paid, that is a better converting lead. Now, in order to get more leads organically, we have to do something we call plug opportunity leaks. So organically, you have lots of opportunity leaks. And so you have to plug these holes. So I mentioned before, there's a place and time for paid ads. And that place and time is when all of your opportunity leaks are plugged. So you have to make sure your website is fully optimized to capture and convert leads. Same thing with your social media channels. And without, we don't have time to get in today, but that's using lead magnets, that's using funnels, that's giving specific offers. That is creating compelling reasons for people not only wanting to opt in and start a relationship with you, but also get on the phone and talk to you, because that's really where the sale starts.
That's so true. Yeah.
So true. Yeah, exactly. Anything else you wanted to add, Diana?
Well, I think organic, this is it's strategy too, but I find it the most useful and with many results. So if you build relationship and you pay attention to and you nurture them on a long run, those will convert and will come back.
That's a
So
perfect
that's
dovetail.
pros and cons. You have to be patient and build consciously on that relationship.
Absolutely. And that's what we're going to talk about next. It's a great dovetail into strategy number 3 is you're an advisor. And I wanted I just run this idea by everybody. When you think you need legal advice, you go to an attorney. Okay,
Yeah.
your attorney is your advisor. When you need financial advice, you go to your financial planner. When you need advice on, say, your medical, on your physical well-being, you go to a doctor. These are all advisory roles. You want to be a home building or remodeling advisor. So number 3 strategy is how are you positioning yourself with your leads. And Diana, you already brought this up. So it's a long-term nurturing with a focus on education. An advisor educates you as to different options you have based on the situation that you are in. So somebody wants to build a home. They are looking to educate themselves. Be that advisor. So a long-term nurturing program is simply where you are educating someone who is not quite ready yet to start a relationship with you by maybe talking to you at this point or even visiting you, but they're interested in learning more about what you have to say. So if you can position yourself as an educator or an expert in your local market, they're going to look at you as an advisor. And when they're ready to get advice and talk to their advisor, you want to be top of mind. So the one thing that I mention here is that I get the question asked a lot when people are hiring, is saying, "Hey, I want to hire someone that's experienced, that is ready to go, so I can just hire them and they can jump into my company and they can take off running." And my response to that when I'm talking to my clients is, "Are you sure?" And I mean, like, well, what do you mean? Well, when you hire someone with experience, you're hiring bad experience and bad habits. In other words, they're going to bring those with them. So now what you have to do, instead of just training them on the way you want things done, you have to untrain them on their bad habits, and then you have to retrain them. And Diana, how good are are human beings at letting go of bad habits?
Well, I can say that when we are young and in our 20s, it's easier than when we are getting old. And that's an
Yeah.
assumption. I don't know for sure. It's- yes,
It's
but
it's very difficult. It's a lot easier to learn a good habit than to
yes,
unlearn a bad habit. So let's put it that way.
yeah.
So again, using this as an analogy, if you want to hire an employee and you want to hire a great employee, you hire someone that has the right skill set and then you develop that. So you develop them into a great employee or a great salesperson, whatever, however you want to use them. The same thing goes for leads. Instead of looking for the right leads, you want to develop them into high quality leads. Well, how do you do that? You mentioned it already, Diana, relationship, right? So
Yes.
you started with a long-term nurturing relationship that with them with a focus on education. And it's just giving them the relevant information that they want. And so over time, what do they do? They learn to appreciate you, they learn to trust you, they learn to look at you as the expert. And then when they're ready to have their specific questions answered and again talk to their advisor, they're going to contact you.
Yeah. So my role is to inform and educate and focus on building the relationship, and the rest will come.
Exactly. And the relationship is built over time. And
Yeah.
it's simply the relationship is always one-sided at first, in that they don't care about you until they know how much you care about them. So by giving them something first, in other words, you have to take the first step, you educate them, you provide them resources, you give them whatever they're after as far as their research, and you do it systematically over time with specific call to actions in there where again when they are ready they can easily reach you and begin that conversation where they again will want to hire you as their advisor and have their home remodeled or built. So those are the three strategies: specialize, don't generalize, strategy number one; focus on organic first, plug your opportunity leaks, build your organic business first before you start running ads. And then number three is to be an advisor with a long-term nurturing focus on education. Again, you're developing those high quality leads over time. Your next sale comes from your database, somebody you already have a relationship with, versus somebody who's brand new coming into the fold. Because the person you already have a relationship with, they're always are going to be an easier sale. It's going to be an easier process to work with them, and they're going to pay you more. You're going to do better with that because trust has been established. They see the value of what you're doing.
And yeah, what they say is that they see you 7, 8 times, then they are ready to move forward for the next step and have a conversation. So how can you just show up at least 7, 8 times for a single lead?
We did a study on that, and we looked at over time how often people interacted with us, came back to the our website, how many times they opted in for different lead magnets that we offered. It's a lot. I want to say there was about 15 different website visits, before they became a lead. Or I should say before they became a conversation, they converted into a conversation. They would opt in for two or three different things, and these people they will buy. Sometimes it would take years, but
Yeah.
they will buy. So if I have a database full of these people that I'm always nurturing and building that relationship with, then I can create more of a systematic way to build my business where I can take market share from my competitors. And the way I really do that, Diana, is that I get them before they're ready. So when I'm still thinking about it and I want to research it, I make sure that I am there with the resources. They create a relationship with me. I may not talk to them for months, maybe even years, but when they are ready to talk, that relationship is established, and then I'm the one that's going to get the business, not my competitor. That is how you really take long-term market share away from your competitors.
All right. So let's start today.
Yeah, let's start today. So schedule your strategy call today. We can talk about long-term market share, but the more often than not, the most important thing today is to be able to free up some time for you so you can focus on larger, more profitable remodeling projects and new homes. So thank you so much for being here today, and for my brothers and sisters in Christ, may the grace of the Lord Jesus Christ, the love of God, and the fellowship of the Holy Spirit be with you all. We will see you next time. Bye,
Take care.
everybody.
Bye.